What's up guys? Welcome back to Cheesy Does It Cooking. I know it's been 6 months. I moved away from Los Angeles to the sunny, cold, lifeless state of Arizona, where we just don't care about anybody but ourselves. So today I thought I'd show you how to make some Christmas ribs. What makes them Christmas ribs? Nothing. Because I'm making them around Christmas and YouTube pays extra money around December. It's been a while since I've done any cooking, but I'm pretty sure I still know how this game works. Worst comes to worst is these ribs end up sucking and we can just eat him instead. So this video I'm gonna go through how to build fire, how to manage your fire, woods to pick, how to season, all the good stuff. So here we go. Today we're gonna use an offset smoker. You can use a wide variety of different smokers, pellet smokers, green eggs, a trash barrel that you found in an alley. Anything would really work. The reason why they call it an offset smoker is because it wraps. Just kidding, that was terrible. Shoot me now. There's a firebox that's offset to the side. So the fire goes into the firebox and the smoke and heat runs through the vessel and out the chimney here. First thing we're gonna do is build our coal bed. This is just standard charcoal briquettes that I put in a little bit of lighter fluid. You're supposed to make it sit for a little bit so it lights easier, but honestly, it doesn't matter. It's gonna light just fine anyway. I thought it was gonna be really cool there, but I'm a fucking loser. Yeah! You're gonna want to let that thing burn down until you see nice white brick coals. Moving on. So here I have a rack of spare ribs. I like to do spare ribs. There's more fat in it. I think it has a little bit more flavor. They're a little bit faster to cook than something like a baby back. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I'm just kind of like cutting off these loose frilly little ends. If I see any meat, I like to actually cut those pieces off and cook them into like little dog treats or little dog snacks. Or you can actually probably get enough to make a stir fry of some sort. The goal of what we're going for is aerodynamics. So we want the smoke to be able to evenly flush over the meat. So there's gonna be a lot of kind of like little crusty flippy ends that are on the end that, you know, like stuff like this. This is just gonna basically burn and be very uneven. Let's make it aerodynamic. Let's cut off any of the excess meat that we have. Go ahead and cut this little floppy piece off. Not a lot of meat in there. There's a little bit. I don't like wasting any part of the animal. So if I can find some meat, then I'm going to salvage it and worship it later. You're gonna feel the breastbone here. That thing's gotta go. It doesn't cook very evenly. So you can kind of feel this chunk here. And these ribs ride up and they connect to the bone about right here. So we're just gonna cut right through that cartilage and without chopping my finger off. Cut the meat off. I also like to keep the bone, look at that nice big old piece of meat there. Keep the bone for stocks so you can manage your portfolio. I mean a bone broth or a bone stock. So I'm gonna put that into the stock pile. One of the pieces I like to cut off is this kind of flap here. This like flappy piece right here, which usually folds over your waistline after Thanksgiving. So we're gonna go ahead and trim that guy off as well because it tends to just burn. Guess where that goes? Oh, meat pile. Boom. We want to just round this off so that it's nice and uniform and aerodynamic. So now as you can see, you got kind of a nice square here. So we're looking good here. The last thing I want to do is take off the silver skin. What you can do is you can either take a butter knife and kind of dig into the bones here. What I tend to like to do, grab a paper towel and just find where it's a little bit loose. Grab the bull by the horns and just start tearing it out like NSYNC in 1995. If you get it in one fell swoop, then you did well. If you don't, then you should quit now. I did not. I should not be authorized to show people how to do things on the internet. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean up a little bit and we'll be back. Pew, 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 pew. We're gonna put together a little bit of a dry rub. Dry rubs can really go any way you want to. This is what I like. It's pretty good. So I'm gonna start with some black pepper and some brown sugar. This is the Christmassy part of the recipe that I was telling you about. Or I'm just reaching. Paprika, I am convinced that it is for color because I don't think paprika is that flavorful. Whoever wants to prove me wrong can fight me. Garlic powder. I like a lot of garlic powder because garlic powder is delicious. Chili powder. Magic. And salt. You don't want to get too crazy with the salt because this is a rib. Mix it together. Feel free to use an instrument. I am a fan of using my hands. I am quite handsy. Sorry, that was awkward. Let's just mix this together. Fast forward. Play the music. Once it's mixed pretty well, I like to just give it a taste just to make sure that it's got good flavor. A little more salt. Yep, that's the one. All we need to do is just season this baby up. And I like to season nice and high. Start from the heavens. And just coat your beautiful baby with your seed. Seeds in. Pat that in there. Get both sides. If you have any extra seasoning here, you can give it to the white people in your life. I don't know why I do this, but I like to like rub the sides on the board. So pretty sure that does absolutely nothing, but whatever. We are ready for smoking. So we're back outside, and these coals are ready. So we can go ahead and throw them into your firebox. I have two kinds of woods that I like to use. So one is a hickory and one is mesquite. I also like using oak as well. I don't have any oak with me right now, but these are also very tasty. So when picking wood, you're gonna wanna pay attention to how big your cooker is. So for example, the size cooker that I have is fairly medium sized. So I don't want to use a gigantic log of wood. It's going to create too much fire, it's going to be too hot, and it's going to probably burn everything in there. I also don't want to create a fire that's too small. This would be a too small piece, so I would probably mix in a couple with this. Using the right size wood is going to basically determine how hot your fire is going to be. So if I use these two together, this is probably about the perfect amount to keep a good temperature. Temperature we're shooting for is around 275-ish, 250 to 275. Lastly, one other thing you want to make sure is that your wood has a good amount of moisture to it. You can tell how much moisture it has by getting a moisture gun that basically stabs into the wood and reads the moisture content. You're shooting for about 20% moisture. Another way to do it is you can clank on it. If it kind of has more of a thuddy noise as opposed to like a really hollow sound, then you've got a good amount of moisture in there. And if you have none of those things and you're not sure if you have enough moisture in your wood, you can always take the wood, squeeze it as hard as you can until little driplets come out. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these logs in. Right on top there, you got a nice hot fire source. We're gonna let the smoke build up with those logs catch. It probably is only going to take a few minutes. One thing you want to make sure is that you have a good amount of oxygen that is going into the fire. You don't want to choke off your fire because that's going to produce a very unclean, gross smoke. Or that could be complete bullshit. Who knows? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Our fire is looking good. We are at a nice 260, 275-ish. You want to take a look at your chimney and look at the smoke that's coming out. What we're going for is a nice light smoke that you can barely see. If it's a big thick white smoke, then you are choking off your smoke. You either need to open the vents on the side of the offset cooker, or you need to consult a professional at a local Chili's and give up. Okay, my dudes, we are ready to start smoking a J. For me, I like to place the ribs away from the heat source with the thicker side pointing towards the heat source. So that would be this side. Okie doke. Then also, I have a little bowl in here that I'm going to put water into. What this does is it keeps the whole vessel nice and moist so that you have nice moist riblets. This is a little mixture of pea. Just kidding. It's apple cider vinegar and a little chicken stock. Give the ribs a little spritz. It's all about moisture. We want to make sure that nothing dries out and keep it glisteningly beautiful. Little John 2004. And you close them up and you forget about them for a very long time. Here we go. Ourselves a sauce. I like to mix a bunch of different sauces together. This is just a honey. Bears love honey. Sweetness. ACV, apple cider vinegar. About, is that 2 tablespoons? Hot sauce. I like Frank's hot sauce, very much so. Mustard. Ooh, sexy. Barbecue sauce. I know, this is a little bit weird. I'm supposed to be making a barbecue sauce, but don't at me, bro. Let me do my thing. And chuppies. And lastly, Worcheshire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. Seasoning wise. More garlic powder. Salt and pepper. Easy. You're gonna put that on the pan and cook it very, very low heat so it all mixes together. The sauce and just mixing it up to make sure that all the little big old bitties are homogenized. Make sure also tasting too. Make sure that's good. It's got a kick to it. It's actually quite nice. I'm being over dramatic. Your barbecue is your Barbie you. Barbie in Canada. Hey gang, so we've been cooking for about 3 hours now, so let's go ahead and take a look at these riblets. So let's see. Alright, looking good. What I'm looking for is kind of like a rich red mahogany color. So I'm just gonna give it a little spritz to make sure that it's nice and juicy. And then also fill up my water bowl. BRB. Add some more water. So, I'm checking our fire. I'm gonna go ahead and add some more wood. I want to basically watch it spark up first. Okay, we got ourselves a pretty good flame. So I'm gonna go ahead and close up the vent here, but leave it open enough so air can flow. And bye-bye. It's been about 4 hours. Let's go ahead and check out how our baby's looking. A nice red mahogany color. It's looking real barbecue-ish. It looks like it's been smoking for at least 4 hours. So it's high as a motherfucker. Time to wrap. Now it comes to wrapping. You could do butcher paper or you could do aluminum foil. I would normally do butcher paper, but I ran all out of butcher paper. So aluminum foil works just as well. I think the difference between paper and foil is very subtle. I'll get you next time, fam. So let's wrap these bad boys up. Start with 2 healthy layers. A bit of our sauce that we just made on the bottom. Let's move our guys over. Fuck, that was hot. With some of that sauce right on the top. Beauty. Beauty. In case that wasn't tight enough, I'll do one more on top. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate it just for even cooking. Close it off. And let's go ahead and check our fire. Nice woody chunk. Nice and fiery. Good to close. Let's talk about doneness now. I just basically go off of a feel. You want to get to the point where the bones feel like they're a little wiggle, a little shimmy shimmy, yeah yeah. I don't know how long this is gonna take. I'm gonna stick it in there and I'm gonna check it every 20-30 minutes. Give it a little shaka shaka. And if it's ready to go, it's ready to go. That's barbecue. Right, dog? Okay. Right. It's cold, it's dark, and it's been 2 hours. This is some Blair Witch level shit, but we gotta check on our boys. We gotta check on our boys. Gonna give it a little tap, tap, tap. And like I said, I go mostly by feeling. And I am feeling that this needs about 1 more hour. In the meantime, I can already tell that this is going to be real tasty. So all I'm really doing right now is just kind of like getting a feel of it. What you're looking for is some ribbage. You want to be able to see the bones kind of wiggle a little bit. Ow, Jesus. So if you can see that little, do a little shake, make a little love, and then you can get down tonight. Fuck your ribs. I'm gonna let this go ahead and rest for 30 minutes. This many times 10. Bye. Okay, we are all set. I took it out of the wrapping and we're ready to eat. As you can see, it looks so pretty, except for the burnt ends. But don't worry about these burnt ends. You can save these for the person that you don't like in the family. There's always one of them. So there you guys have it. How to make ribs every single step of the way. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you subscribe and even leave a comment or a like, because that helps me out. I need a lot of help. Shit. I can't taste anything.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.